The Duke Blue Devils, boy, it fell apart late. They were in this game for quite a bit of time, but ultimately fall to the fourth-ranked Florida State Seminoles 38-20. Offense, not the issue for Florida State. Offense was the issue for Duke. You were locked in on this game. What did you see? As Riley Leonard made a surprise start, kept them in it for quite a while, but ultimately felt kind of like once he went out of the game, re-injuring that ankle, the air came out of the Duke balloon.
Yeah, when Riley Leonard went down there, that was I think late in the third quarter. It was a gut punch to that Duke offense. And to be clear, he tried to come back into that game. They showed
Mm-hmm.
on the play or on the broadcast, they showed that he was like trying to argue with Elko to come back in, and Elko was just like, "We're not losing you for the season. Like, if we have to lose this game, that's fine. We're not losing you for the season." And I kind of respect that. I mean, what is Riley Leonard going to do with the hobbled ankle? The pass game, as you can see, wasn't really a factor in this one for Duke. 76 yards for the whole game. But man, they were really able to rush. Riley Leonard was pretty prolific with his legs when he was in there. And the whole offense was so much better when you were running that RPO and kind of able to put the Florida State, defense off balance. When they lost that and, Florida State was able to just key in, play man coverage on the outside and just key in on the run and say, we're going to do what we want to do. That was kind of all she wrote. I think I saw at the end of the fourth quarter, right before Duke got the ball back when they went down 18, they said something like Florida State has had 162 yards in the fourth quarter and Duke's got 3. I mean, what are you supposed to do, right? And I get
Yeah.
going for it because, I mean, they went for it on that fourth down after he went out. You kind of have to because I sat there thinking at the time, this might be the best chance you have to score the rest of the game. And sure enough, that's what happened. But you got to give loads of credit to Florida State for buckling up, just continuing to play in this game. Jordan Travis had some huge plays with his legs in the fourth quarter, extending drives, finding some weaknesses. I mean, obviously got his through the air, but really, really impressed me on the ground towards the end of this game.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple on that last drive where they just started to wear down the Duke defense. That Duke defense looked gassed at the end of the fourth quarter. And it, as a kind of a soft Duke fan, I'm not necessarily a Duke fan, but follow the team, like the team. It had me so disheartened. Felt like, again, a gut punch because you just think, man, if Riley Leonard had finished that game, they may not have won, but it would have been so much more competitive on that last little bit. And I think that they would have played a lot better. So hats off to Florida State. You made a huge statement. But man, you just feel like something could have been there for Duke.
It certainly felt like, especially the way that game started, it
Mm-hmm.
felt like, here we go. Florida State, Kirk Herbstreit was talking about it. Jaquez Moore has that 42-yard touchdown run at the very beginning of the game. Herbstreit's pointing out, hey, Florida State secondary members are not hustling. They are not covering sideline to sideline to prevent that touchdown from happening. It felt like the Noles came out flat, and Duke did everything they could to take advantage of it, but ultimately just wasn't quite enough. So,
Yeah.
flip side of the coin, I still don't really know what to think about Florida State. They like so many teams this season, maybe get off to a slow start, don't look physical at times, turn the football over, and then they can turn it on when they really absolutely have to, when they're threatened at the half, when they're down early in the third quarter. What do we know about Florida State after this win over Duke?
Well, I mean, the first thing we know is they can continue to impose their will through the game, right? They're not going to come out super sharp, but they will be able to impose their will and eventually get the result they want. That's what they did in this game. They kept grinding, and eventually, by the time we got to the end, they got the result they wanted. But you can look on the stat sheet to the side. 7 for 12 on third downs is extremely efficient, and this
Mhm.
is against a really, really good Duke defense. I mean, this is a solid Duke defense. Mike Elko, a defensive minded head coach. And so to have that kind of success, whereas, in previous weeks, Duke had, you had the Notre Dame game where Notre Dame didn't exactly light the world on fire offensively. They played against Clemson earlier in the year. Clemson couldn't score very well on them. They played, a lot of different games these last couple weeks where, I mean, they were able to shut it down on defense, and Florida State did what they needed to. So this is a good, balanced Florida State offense. But I think they play the best when Jordan Travis is doing his thing, right? When Jordan Travis is, outside the pocket when Jordan Travis is able to kind of make the read, figure out, am I going to go? Am I going to take off? Where's Coleman? Can I hit him down the field? There's so many huge plays down the field from Travis. So when Travis is on and he gets in his rhythm, it almost feels like he's unstoppable. So being able to get him in a rhythm, being able to get him established early is going to have to be the formula for them going forward. And I just think that focus, that 4 quarters focus, being able to, I'm going to come out in the first quarter, we're going to get it established. I'm going to come out in the second quarter, we're going to keep it rolling. We're going to put our foot on their neck. We're going to keep going. I think that's what Florida State needs. Will they be able to put that together against a quality team? I don't know. I don't know that they can put that together against a quality team. They can. I don't know that they will. Right. And so you're in the driver's seat right now in the ACC. It's a clear shot to a playoff if you just take care of your business. But what happens when you go against Michigan, Washington, Ohio State, Georgia, Bama, whoever it is that you get in that first round? What happens when you come out flat and they're up 10-0, 14-0 on you, and then you've got to come back against a better quality team who is, and not to shade Duke at all, but a team that can throw the football more effectively, a team that has a more balanced offense than just saying, give it to Riley Leonard and let him do what he needs to do, right? But when you have a team like that, I don't know what they're going to be able to accomplish.
Gracious, how about